Hey guys, welcome to episode 24 of Kingdom Business TV. We had a little sabbatical from the show because we were running around the country doing Kingdom Business Summits, and we are back. It was just a little bit too hectic for us to be flying out Thursday, doing an event, flying back Sunday, getting into the studio on Monday with all the follow-up we had to do. It was just a little bit too hard. So we are back now, and we will be back twice a week, and this time, every single week for the rest of my life. Wow. Until we change. Guys, I'm doing giveaways on this show. See these books? One of these can be yours. Let me just tease you a little bit with what we've got. We've got Dr. Caroline Leaf. Most of you would know her. She's amazing. So she's got a book, Think, Learn and Succeed. We've got Christine Kane. She's amazing with Ashamed. We've got the Daniel Plan. We've got John Maxwell. We've got Ed Silvoso, Max Lusardo, Johnny Maxwell, and Stephen Scott. The richest man who ever lived. By the way, if you claim this one, then it may take a bit longer to get to you because I started reading it yesterday and it was really good. So, here's what I need you to do though. You need to call in, right? Or give us your number and we will call you. So, to get one of these, for me to give you something, I'm going to send it, I'll cover the postage. Then I need you to either put your phone number in the message, in the comment section, or send a message to the Business Greenhouse page with your phone number, and one of my team will reach out to you and they'll dial you, plug you through to me, I'll hear you, and I will answer your business question. Remember, they could be about anything: business, money, family, church, marketing, sales, recruiting, If you've got a question, I've got an opinion, all right? So let's work it that way. And I'm watching what you guys are doing on here as well. What's annoying though is I can't watch it because it'll play. There we go. Alright, now I can read. Alright, we've got a phone number there, Craig. Do you want to jump straight in? We've got two. Alright, so people want books, obviously. People want the books. That's super, super cool. I've got some stuff to teach, and we'll be looking at the Bible, but let's get a caller straight up in this place. You right, Craig? We need a minute.
I'm good.
Cool. We are in a temporary office at this stage. We finish with an office. We go into a new, beautiful office in 4 weeks. In the meantime, we're in a little box. So it's crammed. What you can't see is Super Craig is about 7 inches from you right now. Just down in that little hole. Alright. Who we got? Clinton.
Hello, this is Clinton.
Clinton, Wez Hone, you're on Kingdom Business TV.
Hey Wes, how are you?
I'm really good, how are you?
Going well.
Mate, what is your question?
Alright, you've answered this question a few times, but I'm still struggling with a part of it. So with Google AdWords.
Yep.
I have tried, you mentioned that we should go for the bullseye.
Yep.
I've tried lots of little around the outside of the bullseye to save my money and make it try and go further, and I've tried hitting the bullseye. I keep spending, $1,000 a week. I keep spending a big budget very quickly. I've been trying to spend it fast so that I can see the good results.
Yeah.
And I use up my month budget in a week with very little outcome. I'm finding the cost per click is hitting us at around $80 a click a lot of the time.
Wow.
And I'm not really starting to get the results that we're obviously trying to get. We're not getting enough work from those. We're hitting our budget after 4 to 5 days and not really getting the results. That
$80 a click is
hurting.
Is high. Yeah. To me, it's not ridiculously high. Craig, can I have that up a little bit in my ear? Is that possible? It's not ridiculously high. Like, I'm not sitting there going, it's normally $20 and you're 80. I think maybe 50, 60 would be normal. Well, I don't know, because obviously, anyway, that's just, life has gone up a lot in the last little while. Yeah. What results can you point me to? Like, if you were to spend $4,000, how many leads would you get? How many customers would you get from that spend?
So the last 1,000 we spent, we didn't get a single call from it. We had an excess of clicks through to the website, but we didn't get any calls from it. Okay. Probably 4 times our dollar, so 4 to 5 times return on our spend. Mm-hmm. But we've only seen that twice, and I haven't been able to repeat those results.
Okay. I mean, sometimes 1 week in isolation you can't look at. Sometimes 1 week in isolation you might have a bumper week. Sometimes you might have absolutely no calls. Like that's a little bit outside of our control. If you were having that problem consistently, then I'd be concerned. So a couple of things. I'm
scared to keep it running the second week when we've spent our budget.
Yeah, I get that. So my first thought is, what's the keyword? What is the bullseye keyword you're running?
Plumber near me is working well.
Well, it's not working well if it didn't work.
Well, you're getting lots of clicks anyway. Spending the money.
Okay. Why have you not gone for plumber suburb or plumber region?
I've tried that and had very little clicks on it. So I've tried about probably the 15 suburbs all around us, and sort of more of when we do our keyword planner, I've been going for the suburbs that have been showing the highest potential, what they're planning clicks.
Yeah.
And
what's the greatest region in your area? What's the biggest suburb?
Probably one seems to have a fairly big spread.
What's the greater region called? Central Coast? What's the greater region?
Central Coast, yeah.
Okay. Have you run Plumber Central Coast?
I think I have on that one, yes. Yeah, I have. I can tell you what my results were on that one.
That would be by far the best AdWord you could run on. So either plumber or plumbing, right?
Yep.
Just because it would have the greatest amount of clicks, and obviously it's the most qualified.
Yep.
Because no one types in Plumber Central Coast if they're looking for anything else. So if you have run the best keyword and given it enough money, which it seems to me like you've definitely given it the budget, then the next chronological step is either it's either that there's a disconnect between, like, if they fill an inquiry form, is it broken? Now that you've probably checked that, but the amount of times that people have said to me AdWords doesn't work, and then I do email in on their form and it doesn't go anywhere, or people do not like your website. That's really all it can come down to. Because remember, you're only paying Google because they saw your ad and clicked your ad and went to your website. It's the only reason why you're paying Google. So people are taking action. When they get there, they're not following through. Now, do you know off the top of your head how many clicks you would have got for $4,000, even if it's a rough number?
I think we were, I can tell you in a minute, but I think we were, there was quite a few hundred.
Okay.
I think, oh no, hang on. So impressions were around 1,200. I think clicks.
Okay, so we don't know. Fine. That's fine.
Stalling while I open it.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about that. Okay, this to me, I think there's two things you got to go away and do. You got to go away and start running the bullseye keyword, because I don't think you are. You said you have, but I don't think you are right now. And the second thing is we've got to make that Facebook far more engaging. I mean, your website far more engaging. We've got to get, I don't know what it is on there that people aren't liking, but there's something on there that is stopping people reaching out to you. They're either not going to the right page on the site, they're not connecting with it, it's not building rapport and trust with them, or you haven't put a phone number right in front of them. Somewhere in there, the website is not converting. That you're getting traffic, you're not getting conversions. And for something like plumbing, which is a grudge purchase with very little loyalty to a brand new customer, they should be following through. Like the association with branding in plumbing would be so low that people wouldn't care. If they can get to a plumbing page and find a phone number, they'll ring. Right? So it looks to me like we've narrowed it down to either a keyword issue or a website issue, and both need work.
Website issue, yeah. Sounds good, yeah. 187 I've just found on my clicks so far. So
for a month?
It's been about $4,000. It's
okay.
187.
Yeah. It's a website issue. If you've got no calls from 100 and that many clicks, then there's something really wrong. It's either a non-qualified keyword or a website that doesn't convert. I'd go away and start producing lots of video content, get you on the homepage, get you building rapport, get you talking about what makes you unique, put a phone number in front of people everywhere, and you'll probably see that you pick up some traffic.
Sounds good. Cool.
Awesome, mate.
All right, we'll keep working on it. Thanks, mate. See you
Cheers.
soon.
So, guys, I'm reading in the messages that you're having trouble with the audio. I can't help that bit. That's Craig's job, okay? And at this stage, he's on his third written warning for today. Third. Any idea what it is, Craig? You do know? Well, if you know, can you please fix it?
Try.
Thank you. The caller is coming through loud and clear. So Craig's preferenced the caller over the coach. Super interesting. All right. Well, while he's playing around with that, we've got a few more people that want to ask questions. Oh, by the way, reach out to Clinton. Ask him which one of these he wants, because I forgot to ask him. Let's have a look at a little bit teachy up in here, all right? And Craig's going to make this screen look like this screen. At some point, you've got to love a new premises, right? Trying to work out what's going on. Ooh, that's not as slick as it used to be. I can't wait till we get in the new office. All right. See, here's an interesting thing. When it comes to follow-up, right? For those of you who are doing prices, doing quotes, doing tenders, following up prospects, I want to talk to you guys for a minute because in my experience, it's not done well, right? And so I just want to talk about that for a minute and have a little bit of fun. I reckon when it comes to following up proposals, quotes, tenders, those sort of things, we need to be obsessed, which if you came to the summit, you would know what I mean by that. I talked into it. You need to be obsessed, but you also need to assume. Somebody said to you once, don't assume because you make an ass out of you and me. Well, that sounds good, but it ain't true. You've got to assume the sale. I'm ditching my chair, Craig. I hope that's okay. You've got to assume, right? When you start following up prospects, you just assume they're buying. When can we go ahead? What does that look like? I want to book that in for you. I've got an opening on Tuesday. Assume. You'll be amazed at the amount of people that go, no, okay, I'll run with your passion and your energy to book me in, okay? So you've got to be obsessed. That means you should be following up far more regularly than you are. Do you know how many of you will say something to yourself like, oh, I'll give them a week to think about it. I'll give them 14 days to think about it. It's madness, okay? They need like 14 minutes to think about it, okay? If otherwise they just keep punting you down the road and you spend, too many months chasing a lead that's dead. You want to force them to make a decision real quick, okay? And they'll soon let you know if you're following up too much. But most people are not following up too much. They're following up far too infrequently. When you send out a proposal, call them 10 minutes later and say, hey, Mary, Wez here. I want to run you through that proposal. You'll be like, well, I can't do that. Why can't you do that? Of course you can do that. You can speak. It's a good idea, right? So you should do that, right? Now, when they say to you, I need to think about it, say, yeah, no worries. I understand you need to think about it. I'll call you tomorrow. Call them tomorrow. When they say, when you follow up tomorrow, haven't a chance to think about it, call them the next day. And when they say they need to speak to their business partner, call them at 5 o'clock on the same day. You need to be obsessed, okay? And assume, when are we doing that? I'm booking it in. I'm in your area on Tuesday. Let's get this thing done, all right? You'll be amazed at how many more people say yes. Let me draw a little thing here, right? Here you've got all of your possible prospects over the next 1 year. You've sent out 100, quotes. Let's just call this 100 quotes. All right, in the next 12 months, you may be more or less, doesn't matter. This is how it works. This many people are downright no's. They're a no, they were always going to be a no. It's a bad fit. They didn't like you, they didn't like your company, you didn't like them, didn't have the product they wanted, whatever. They're a no. These people up here, they were an absolute yes. They were always buying. They liked you anyway. It didn't really matter what your price was. They were just going to say yes. But this group in the middle, this group in the middle here, they're the ones that can be swayed. They're the ones that, or if they just get a little nudge from you, then they're going to be in the yeses, okay? And that's the group where you make money, because when you're not following up, when you're not following up and you're being lazy and you're giving them 7 days and 14 days and a month, more of those people become no's over time, right? They get buyer's remorse, they change their mind, their priorities change, and they become no's by default. You get in there, you assume the sale, and then more of them say yes. Be obsessed and assume the sale. Get on the phone, crush them, get them in, and just assume. Give them the language that you know they're going ahead, and more people will go ahead, which means more people spend money with you, which means you can buy more products from us. All right, Craig, let's have a caller. Who we got? Sylvie.
Hello, this is Sylvie.
Sylvie, it's Wez Hone. You're on Kingdom Business TV.
Oh, hi Wez. How are you? It came up as no caller ID.
Yes, that's because we have a funky system. We are using
you like
our...
to keep anonymous.
That's right. We'll just run with that as the idea. Hey, Sylvie, what can I answer for you?
Right. Well, I'm in the process of creating an online digital service kind of product. It's online, purely online, and it is to help people set up a micro business. So the how-to set up your business for success. So it's all the steps that a lot of the creative types miss. They've got to do with, setting up the registration, everything that's required. Now, what I want to know is what price do you think would be good to start with? There will be other stages once the business is up and running that will focus on, marketing and then how to keep your business going. But this is really just a tool to support people at the startup.
Perfect.
So they've got an idea, but they just don't know what to do. So I've connected with a couple of people in the industry that are accountants and lawyers, and they say that they're doing work for startups, especially micro businesses, sole traders or tradespeople or little at-home businesses, and they've just got so many little bits missing, to do with finance and admin, all those little things that I'm sure you're aware of.
So when you say it's a pure digital play, you're not giving them any time. This is like a training program that they take themselves through?
Rather than training, it's a how-to, step-by-step. I'll include examples of templates for supplier or contractor agreements, so different examples there.
Perfect.
I'll give them examples of grants that they can apply for. Purely digital. I won't be interacting with them at all.
Okay, good. So the expectation from a pure digital play, of course, is that from the consumer's perspective, that it's cheap and affordable, okay? That's just typically the way a consumer sits. Now, the way to answer your question properly, though, is what do you need most right now? For example, if you said to me, I'm absolutely strapped for cash, I've got no money, then I would say you need to launch a product at a higher price, understanding that you're going to get less customers, but you're going to get that bigger check in the door. The problem with that model is you're going to jeopardize building a brand, okay? Because you're basically taking now money and short-term money. If you said to me, I don't have a big need for cash now, but I want to build a brand that's fast scalable, then I would say make it really affordable, tell the world about it, and then obviously, then you could actually put more products down that pipeline. Once you've got a big list, you can sell more products and services to them, right? So that's basically stepping over $20 now to be able to get 200 down the line, okay? So I guess the decision should come down to what do you need, because it's your business. But understand that if you go for bigger money in the short term usually means that you jeopardize the long-term future, right? So I would be looking at it going, okay, subscription-based would be the first way I would go if I could, because then you get recurring revenue, or if you can get the money up front, then great. I think the thing to remember, of course, is at the start of our business journey, I mean, every big business started out small. Capital was hard to come by, okay? So I reckon if you were to think little bits of money and often is a much easier purchasing decision than saying I want $500 out of somebody, because most businesses if you're talking about that micro stage, like if their decision is build my website or buy your program, they'll build a website. They won't buy your program.
Yes.
So you'd be better off to make it, $49 for 10 months than you would be, trying to get $500 off them. So, and the irony is that if it was $500, I'm just using a round figure because you didn't tell me one. If it was $500 to buy your product, people would spend $50 for 20 months instead of giving you $500. So you got twice as much money out of each customer that way. You just got to most people overprice, which adds too much friction, which means they never get enough momentum.
Yes. The price I was looking at was either $99 or $149. See, I have all of the content. It's ready to pull together, and it's just going to be really a matter of them clicking through to links, opening up documents, and there will be some video there as well. But it really will be a self-guided, step-by-step process on how to get up and running in your business. So I don't know that an ongoing subscription, I did think about it, and a membership site, but I don't know that an ongoing subscription would be, I don't know.
Oh, I think that's a mistake.
lot of these people want to get straight into it.
But I think you should at least have that as an option. Because one-off revenue is really hard to scale. Yes. Because you've lost the customer. Every time you get a customer, you've lost them. Because once they're bought from you, they don't need you again in that model. So I'd probably take $99 up front off somebody, and then I'd put them on a $29 a month coaching program for 12 months. And keep delivering them value. Give them some accountability. Put them into a forum. Give them peer-to-peer support.
I wanted to avoid that. I just wanted this to run in the background. And
other
things in my life.
You know what? That's totally fine. If that's what suits you, that's more than fine. Yeah. What I'm saying, I'm always trying to extract more revenue and scale. If you're saying you just want to do a one-off transaction, fine, brilliant, great, done. Like, I would probably let these people. I would probably let the 149 people pay over 2 months. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Because you might get the occasional delinquent payer, but remember your hard costs against this product delivering it to a client is probably 50 cents, right, with some hosting. So
that's right.
But you would probably have 2 times as many buyers at $75 times 2 payments than you would $149 up front.
Yeah, no, that's great. That is an option that, yes, I think will work. And then for the next product, there would be definitely an on-sell, moving along the funnel. There would be marketing packages available, but it would be all digital. So there is an intention to carry them through, but I didn't really want to go down the coaching path. Yeah. Just keep it all digigital.
Totally.
I
think it'll work, but if you're just looking for a one sale, that's fine. If that's what suits your life, then it's your business, right? So that's a good idea. It would be interesting.
Be down the coaching path.
Yeah. What I think, what I would look at if I were you, I would run with you 99 and 149, whatever. I would probably drive a heap of traffic to that site, and I would look at your conversion rate. That will tell you if you're making a mistake. So if, let's say you had 1,000 people go to your website and only 53 went through to buy one of your products, that tells you there's a massive friction point. But you can get that data from Google Analytics, right? You can see how many people landed at your page, and you know how many customers you got. So I think that would give you the data to know if you need to change it at all.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, I've got some books here, Sylvia, I'm giving away. You. Now, you get to choose.
Right. Okay.
All right.
I can't see, actually.
All right, I'm going to read them to you.
My monitor's gone.
So we got we got Caroline Leaf. If you know who that is, we've got Christine Kane.
Yes, I listened to her podcast.
Awesome. We've got the Daniel Plan, which was written by a whole bunch of people. That's about health. We've got a leadership by John Maxwell. Anointed for Business. Anxious for Nothing.
Great, John Maxwell.
Johnny Maxwell. You want a bit of leadership?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Awesome.
Right.
Thanks.
All right.
Wez.
Bless your heaps. Catch up soon, eh?
Yeah. Sounds good. See ya.
Deet, deet. All right. Well, we haven't even got to some scripture yet. And here we are. Listen, I'm going to do some quick scripture while Craig works out what to do. Who wanted giants? Clinton. Yeah. Learning from the giants. Awesome. That one may be delayed getting there as well. We're going to have a look at some scripture and we're going to talk about Galatians. All right. This little bit of contention. Was this Paul's first letter? We don't really know that, although I'm going to run with yes. All right, Galatians. So you know the story, right? Paul, who was once Saul, was victimizing the church, punishing them, arresting everybody he could. On the road to Damascus, he has a bit of a moment. He asks that super amazing question of the Lord. You know, he goes, "Is that you, Lord?" He knew full well who was coming after him, as he was zealous. Then he gets put in 3 days of spiritual naughty corner when he's blind. He gets free from being blind, and then he goes on to become an amazing preacher, evangelist, and so forth, right? So you know that bit. So Galatians, where are we? 2, 1. We're going to go across a little bit. We're going to go Galatians 1. 18 talks about, so he's gone through all of that, and then it says after 3 years he goes to Jerusalem and hangs out with Peter and Titus. Then he comes back, and this is the bit I want to pick up on. He goes, then after 14 years, hang on a minute, what about a time frame here? We're in this instant coffee world that we live in where we want everything by the end of a 15-minute prayer meeting. Here comes Paul. Then after 14 years, I went up to Jerusalem with Barnabas and also took Titus with me, and I went up by revelation and communicated to them the gospel that I preached among the Gentiles, but privately to those who were of reputation, lest by any means I might run or had run in vain. Yet not even Titus, who was with me, being a Greek, was compelled to be circumcised, and this occurred because of false brethren secretly brought in, who came in by stealth to spy out our liberty which we have in Christ, to whom we did not yield submission even for an hour, that the truth of the gospel might continue. Here we go. But from those who seem to be something, another one of the translations says, but from those super apostles. So he's having a bit of a dig now at these, Christian leaders who looked like they had it all together. Because he goes, but from those who seem to be something, whatever they were, it makes no difference to me. God shows personal favoritism to no man. For those who seem to be something added nothing to me. Oh, that's a bit contentious. Another version says they added nothing to my message. See, what can we learn from Paul? Paul wasn't interested in the quick, give me a download, give me a revelation, give me a short-term outcome. Paul invested 17 years getting revelation from God, investing time and energy and prayer and diligence into his walk. And then he goes and says, I went and hung out with the super apostles of the day and they added nothing to my message. See, this is not arrogance from Paul. This is just perspective from Paul, where he's like, if you go in fact, in the chapter before, he says, God showed me all of this. See, it's great you go to church on Sunday and you go and get messages from your local pastor. We all need pastors. I love my pastor. But there is something to be said for going and sitting and getting direct revelation from the Lord. Paul did it over a long period of time. Okay, he invested hours, days, weeks, months, years in getting fresh revelation. And so much so that he ended up writing the majority of the New Testament, right? So here's an amazing man who had a huge, a real big depth in the Word and God's teaching and God's character. And that's where we spend most of our time reading. There is a direct correlation between the wisdom that comes out of your mouth and the amount of revelation you get directly from the Father, but it takes time. Don't think that you're going to spend 15 minutes a day in prayer 3 days a week and you're going to get enough revelation to last you like Paul did. You need time. You need time in the Word, time in the relationship, time hanging out with your friends, time learning directly. Holy Spirit, show me revelation on this. Holy Spirit, show me revelation on business and economy and wealth and understanding. And see, like Paul, it takes a long time. And when you do that over a sustained period of time, you get revelation that no man can show you. And that's what I want for you guys. All right. Woo! Someone's saying, preach it. I'll give it a go. All right. World's worst preacher, but man, you can't stop me. All right. What have we got, Craig? Who have we got?
We have Tim.
Tim.
Oh, it's who's speaking?
Tim, it's Wez Hone. You're on Kingdom Business TV.
G'day, mate. How are you?
I'm salubrious. How are you?
Oh, just living the good life, mate. Living the good life.
Well, we wouldn't have you any other way. What can I help you with?
So, I've got a question for you, mate. We've just started with a company. We invested pretty heavily to get a serious CRM. This is the blinds business.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed something that would sort of nurture leads throughout the sales process. But more importantly, because we've just employed a few people, we needed to sort of get the tracking and reporting right.
Mm-hmm.
Where we've landed on it, now I engage, the way this company works is you pay a subscription per user, but you also pay a third party to integrate to take it from off the shelf to customize so it's where you need it to be. Where we've landed with it, Wes, is that we've done the initial stage, right, and we're nowhere near on the same page from where we first discussed in terms of deliverables. So the actual software isn't usable for our guys at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so where we need to sort of get it to is, at the moment, we've invested, like we're talking, at the moment we're probably 8,000 or 9,000 into it, and we're probably 30% of the way into the investment. My question is this, right? We haven't paid the second half of the bill yet, because from where I sit, I'm like, man, we're nowhere near close to what we initially discussed. But we also need to use this company or another company of somewhat to actually take us to the point where it's usable for our guys, because at the moment we're getting 0% of the benefit. Where's the balance between sort of these guys are saying, where's the balance between holding off on paying the remainder of the bill until we come to an agreement on some key deliverables and then nailing down how much extra we're going to need to pay to get to that point? And at what point should we just be walking away, or how should we be handling this?
Yeah, cool. So you've only paid about 4.5 of the 9, is that right?
We've paid about 7.5 of what's probably going to be about 25.
Okay, cool.
The initial quote we agreed to was about 15.
So
we paid
the CRM
the initial quote
that brings the third party in. Is that right?
Yeah.
Are they pointing fingers at each other?
Oh yeah. So well, it's they're saying, oh, this is one of our preferred partners, and they're a platinum integrator, and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was that I was quite clear on what I was asking for, and I understand how computers work and things like that. And everyone in the startup process just started saying, yes, it can do this, yes, it can do this, yes, it can do this. And no one cared to differentiate between what was out of the box and what was required to custom development. And the first person to actually start, the first person to tell us, start actually managing the expectations was the developer who was assigned to us for 2 days in the office doing work for us, after we'd already paid 50%. And then they started saying, oh, hang on, no, we're not going to be able to do this, or this is going to cost extra money, this is going to cost extra money, we can only get it to this point, things like that.
So we have a classic case here of you're going to have to sharpen your negotiation skills, right? I think you basically go to every stakeholder and you say, guys, pause all work. I'm putting the project on notice. Here is where, this project is not matching the original scope. Okay? So you say to them, I will totally honor paying the bill. However, before I do that, I need the roadmap so that we all get on the same page. So we need to come back to the table and have a very clear, all parties, the CRM, the third-party developer, and you need to sit down and then go, okay, guys, listen, this was my original scope. You are now telling me it can't be done. What's the workaround? And they say, oh, well, anything can be done. It's going to be another 50,000 or 10,000 or 5,000 or 2,000. And you say, guys, that's not acceptable. We originally had this as my outcome. You told me this. I need this outcome for this much money, which is why we're some way down this path. If we can't get there, then I'll reserve my rights to, pursue you on the side. But it would be much better for everybody if we can just get me what we have both agreed at the start. And then if it were me, I would probably treat it, because we're not talking about, $50 here. We're talking about 25 grand. I would be sitting down and I would get everybody back to the table if I can get a resolution from that, I would then produce a heads of agreement document and get everybody to sign it so that they don't go away and then start pointing the fingers at each other after that. Okay. Now, you have quite a bit of the leverage in this because you've only paid 7.5. So, you have the ability to pull up stumps here at any time, which is not ideal for you. And of course, we want to honor what we said, but we're going to want what we wanted to be able to honor what we said. So I think it's a classic case of, say, guys, you need to meet me, right? I don't know if that's geographically possible, but maybe for 25 grand, they can make the trip.
Yeah, for the sake of getting this project done, I'd fly over to meet with them, right? Because this is going to be a cornerstone piece of technology, not only for us, our staff locations, but also for the franchisees, right?
Yep.
So it's important we get it done. I guess it's just finding that balance between, obviously they're wanting to withhold payment. They're just wanting to say, no, pay the remainder of your bill. It was due a week ago before we talked to you, right? And I'm not going to do that.
And that's fine.
Finding the balance.
That's where you've got to bowl. Listen, Matthew 10:16, right? Be as gentle as a dove and as shrewd as a serpent. You've got to learn when to be both. Right, most people have got the dove bit down pat. They'll take a rollover, they'll take a hit, they'll put it down to a bad experience. The Lord was teaching me a lesson. It's rubbish. Here's an opportunity for you to be as shrewd as a serpent. You bowl back in there and say, guys, I'm taking leadership. You're the spiritual authority anyway by default. You walk back in there, you say, guys, I'm not getting what I wanted. This is not okay. We're all going to come to a heads of agreement and we're not leaving this meeting until we do. This is what I want, this is what I want. How do we? You beat that thing around until you get a resolution, you put it on paper, everybody signs it, you go home. You say, at this point here, when you give me this, I will guarantee, document it, I'll release the payment, but you've got to get me to here first. All right? And you'll...
Yeah, and so is it worth... Because there's 100 different integration partner companies out there and things like that. Do we continue pressing on with this company or do we...
If you think they've got the skills... If you think they've got the skills, I would do it. If you get into that meeting and you start to think, hang on a minute, they don't have the skills, then it's time to negotiate again and say, guys, you can't deliver what you promised. I want the money back that I've paid. If you don't give me the money back that I've paid, I'm doing the project anyway. I'll go to one of the other providers and then I'll probably put a small claims in for the money I've paid you.
Yeah.
Now, they're not going to want that grief, so they're probably just going to do the work or give you money back. Remember, this isn't trying to take advantage of anyone. This is going to them and saying, let's have an open and honest dialogue. Let's chat about this to get a resolution. That's but somebody's got to take charge, and if it's not you, you're going to get ripped off.
Yeah, and it's sort of, the thing is, because we've gotten to this point, now I actually understand the limitations of the software better. I can better articulate what it is we're actually needing it to do and find the middle ground. Where we're getting stuck is they're saying, no, we didn't quote you for deliverables. We quoted you for time and resources.
Which is typically which is what developers and that do.
Which is what they, of course, is what they do, but yeah.
But that's okay. I wouldn't accept that. I'd say that's fine. That's what you quoted, but this is my correspondence with you, which is an outcome-based correspondence. We need to agree to some, terms and conditions. I would probably throw down some milestones between that moment and the rest of the relationship. Get me this, I'll pay this. Get me this, I'll pay this. Get me this, I'll pay this. I'll keep the cash flow coming if you give me these deliverables. Now, it still could fall over, but at least you gave them every chance to succeed. But you're going to have to bowl in there, I reckon, and take authority.
Yeah, there's probably something that I'll go meet with them in person. Because the other thing is the accounts manager that I've got. She's not the person to be negotiating with. We agreed on some payment terms and things like that, and then she started when it started falling off, she sort of kept saying, "Oh, but we did you favours in payment terms." I was like, well, it wasn't a favour. You just negotiated payment terms. You got to commit to it. It's
Yeah,
not,
it sounds like they're going to be great to
need
negotiate with. Just go back in there and tell them what you need.
Sounds good.
Bless you, buddy. Catch up. Good. What we got in here is comments. Oh, books. Can you reach out to him and ask him which one of these books would he like? He's a millennial, so whatever's the skinniest one. Actually, we'll give him a big book. Could be the only one he's read in his life. All right, what we got here? Craig, do you want to lead me somewhere?
Yep, we have a call.
We have a caller. Who is it?
Benjamin.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Hello, this is Benjamin.
Benjamin, it's Wez Hone. You're on Kingdom Business TV.
Hey, Wes, how are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Yeah, doing well, thanks.
All right, great. What's your question?
So I just wanted to ask about when it comes to clients and getting invoices paid, when they're struggling with budget or timing and things like that, how do you find a balance between sort of being nice, give them a bit of extra time to get the invoice paid and stuff like that, but then if they're doing it regularly, how do you know when to sort of crack down and say, hey, I really need this paid, and sort of find that balance between being nice and, just getting it done?
Yeah, I don't think being nice is the right word because I don't think that helps anybody. I think you can extend some grace if they're having some issues, but that needs boundaries, okay? Because their problems are becoming your problems, which is probably not okay. Listen, when we've got a customer who's a bad payer, we first have to look in the mirror and take full responsibility, and we let them get to that point. We trained our customer that it was okay to pay late. Okay, so first of all, we always look at ourselves when we have a problem. So once you've done that, you realize I've got to tighten my system. So here's what I'd be doing. I'd put a line in the sand and say, from this moment onward, I'm going to stand by our terms. So if your terms are 7 days, you call them on day 8 and say, where's my money? That first phone call is a soft phone call. It's like an oops, you might have overlooked it. Can you please get it paid? And then on that phone call, you're going to agree to getting it paid. So they might say, I'll pay you in 24 hours. You go, great. In 24 hours, I'll check the account. If it's not in there, I'm ringing you the next day. And then if it's not in the account, you ring the next day and you're firmer and you do a 3-call stop. The first one is oops, you probably overlooked it. The second one is firm. The third call is if you don't pay within 24 hours, we're sending it to debt collection. Okay, that's the process. Remember, squeaky wheel gets the oil. The only reason why they're not paying you is because they're paying somebody else. And the only reason why they're paying the other person is they think they can get away with punting you.
Yeah, right.
So you need to retrain them that you are now the squeaky wheel and you will get the money. Now, let's say hypothetically that it is all, because most of it's not legit. The reason why they're just punting you because they think you're a soft target. If they actually have a massive financial problem in their business and they can't pay you and they're not paying anybody, listen, you need to get another customer. You need to completely de-risk your business and go and get another customer to work with because that one is going to fall over at some point.
Yeah, right. That's
When you get a customer who's a bad payer, you need to go straight out and find another one.
okay. Interesting. Yeah. No, that's a good point for sure.
Because you may not be able to win them back. You may not be able to get that customer back to being a good customer as a payer. You may not. So what you don't want to be doing is left in a hole. Listen, it's easier to say to that customer, listen, your payments are terrible. It doesn't help my business. I'm letting you go because I've got somebody else to work with straight away. That gives you peace of mind and you can go and grow your business.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. That's cool. Yeah.
All right, I want to send you a book to say thank you for calling in the show. I don't know whether you've been watching, but we've got a bit of Christine Kane, Caroline Leaf. We've got a health book, Anointed for Business, Anxious for Nothing, Richest Man Who Ever Lived. What can I send you?
Oh, the Anxious for Nothing sounds good.
Yeah, Be Anxious for Nothing. Bit of Max Lusardo. All right. Buddy, my team are going to send this out to you in the next couple of days.
Awesome. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for answering the question.
It's okay. The pleasure's mine. Bless you, buddy. Catch up soon.
See ya.
Well, it's a 30-minute show that's been running longer. Where are we at, Craigie? We do? All right, let's do one more. Let's do one more because I want to give away some books. Well, we may carry somebody over to the next show. Thursday, 3 o'clock. Same place. Who have we got? VJ? Awesome.
Hello.
VJ, it's Wez Hone. You're on Kingdom Business TV.
Hey, Wes.
How you doing? I'm really good, mate. What can I help you with?
I got a quick question. It's like, okay, because, I'm a startup. I'm just starting up with this business,
Right.
my online fitness coaching. And my question is what price should I have? Like, because I've got two clients.
Yep.
Both are paying different prices.
Okay, good. So the way I tackle pricing for a startup is I am more interested in proving the concept than making money. Now that may seem crazy because you think business is all about trying to make money, but for me, I'm always trying to see there is a credibility that a startup doesn't have. Okay, like most industries have an incumbent, a business that's been around a long time, their legacy, and so that they're known, they're a known entity. A startup doesn't have that. Now that comes with a whole bunch of benefits, but it also comes with a bunch of downsides. And that is you don't have instant credibility.
Okay.
So the way you remove the friction point, because obviously there's a decision to make. Do I go with somebody who's well known or a bit more well known, or do I go with a startup? The way that I remove that friction point is I go in cheaper and add more value. Now what happens over time, you can increase your prices to get paid what you're worth, but I want momentum. Momentum to me is worth more than money. So I would be lowering my prices, doing deals, getting customers on board, like ironing out all my systems and my issues, and then put my prices up. Now that doesn't mean you put the old customers' prices up. You could just draw a line in the sand and say, okay, all my new customers from this time will have a higher price, right? That you make more money by doing that. But what too many businesses are trying to get paid what they're worth at the start, which means they never put on enough customers to build momentum. When I first started business coaching in 2006, I remember selling coaching for $150 a session. And I remember I spent like 3 hours with this dude. It wasn't long after that I was charging $500-600 an hour, and I was getting $30 or $40 an hour sometimes at the start. Why? Because I wanted to get a customer. I wanted this guy's $150 so I could spend it on marketing. I wanted to iron out my skills. So I just got momentum early, and I charged people whatever they could. I dropped my prices to get momentum, and then I put them up over time. And I recommend that's what you do, because if you're not going to get paid what you're worth, right? But nobody does at the start of their journey. Like an apprentice electrician is going to get $9 an hour in their first year, right? They're not getting paid what they're worth, right? So, well, some people may argue that, but anyway. You just need to remove the friction point and make it really easy for people to buy. Mate, I want to send you a book. I don't know whether you've seen them, but I'm giving away books. So let me just quickly run them through for you, right? We got Caroline Leaf, we've got Christine Kane, we've got a health book, but you're probably all across that stuff. We've got Anointed for Business, and we've got The Richest Man Who Ever Lived. And I'm going to send it to you. Which one would you like?
I would like the Caroline Leaf, please.
Excellent. Cool, mate. We'll send it out to you tomorrow. Look in your post box in the next couple of days. So good. Well, talk to me, Craig. Now, the only reason why I want to take this next call, because I think, who has been waiting since 1 p.m. for us to jump online. So let's take Carrie's call. It's a bonus episode today. We're going long.
Hello.
Hey, Carrie, it's Wez Hone. You're on Kingdom Business TV.
I'm sorry, I had Telstra. Anyway, I'm fine now.
That's okay. We all need a toilet break at some point. Righto, what can I help you with?
Okay, so I've got an online store, completely spent all that I can, and really struggling to increase sales. I want to follow up people, but being online, I feel like I'm hidden behind the camera, and I don't know how to reach out.
Perfect. All right. So, Carrie, the answer to your question is right at the start of the journey. You've got to increase your reach, right? More people know about you. More people come to the store. More people come to the store. The more they like your products. The more they like your products. The more they buy them. The more they come back, right? If you're getting sales now, then that tells me the market already like your product.
Yes.
That just tells me that you need to have 5 times as many people know about you.
Okay. Yep.
So, now tell me, when was the last time you put out some video content to the world, or at least Australia?
Okay, I was at the Small Business Expo in Brisbane, so I did a video on that. That was the last time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what you're saying to me is that you did a video.
Yes, I did.
Wow. So you do realize that the way you win in 2019 is to do a video a day.
Right. Video a day.
And you just can't get reach off one video.
Yeah.
You can't get reach off one a week.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the fact that you've got a store says to me you should be doing product review every single day. Now, that might be crazy. I'm pushing to the other extreme, right?
Right.
Now, if you were to do a product review every single day of a product, and I'll tell you what, here's what you could do, review, like rate it and pan it. Like if you had a product that you went, listen, here's a product, I'm trying it, I don't like it for these reasons, and so I'm not stocking it.
Yeah.
You would have a really loyal following on your opinion.
Okay.
If you were prepared to say this product is great,
Yeah.
and this product is not,
Yep.
then it would be amazing the amount of people that would put you up as an authority. If you're just saying this product's great and this product's great and this product's great, people aren't going to care.
Okay.
Now, so you could do product reviews. You could also do just general health tips. You could do, stories about organic products, whatever you want to do. But you need to start to put out a lot more content. If every day is too much for you, we need to go to 2 to 3 times a week, every week, and not look back. Like, don't think I'm going to try this for 3 weeks.
Yep.
You need to just go, I'm going to put out 3 videos a week for the next 12 months because they'll start to go a little bit viral over time. Listen, at the end of the day, an online store with no awareness is about as relevant as a surf shop in Alice Springs, right?
Yep.
You need to start telling the world about it, what makes it unique, why it's valuable, driving eyeballs there, and then people will buy. The way you do that is you just put out tons and tons of content.
Okay. Video
Produce
content.
it, stick it on Facebook, stick it on YouTube, stick it on Insta, right?
Yep.
Here's what I would do. I would put out 3 videos a week, and then I would go back through and look at the organic reach, the organic engagement. So out of those 3 videos, which one gave me, more likes, shares, and comments? Mm-hmm. And then I would put a little bit of money behind the one that the market responded to, and I would amplify that out to a new audience. Okay. Because then you're only spending money on the one that the market have already told you they like.
Okay, I like that. Yep. Excellent.
All right, I've got a book for you here that I want to send you because we're nice and it's not even Christmas.
Yeah, I know. Good.
So I've got Unashamed by Christine Kane. I've got The Daniel Plan, which is a health book. I've got Anointed for Business and The Richest Man Who Ever Lived. Which one can I send you?
Anointed for Business would be lovely.
Great. Have you read it before?
No.
No, it's excellent.
Sounds amazing. Yeah. Yeah. No, that would be
Bless you, Carrie. Catch up soon.
Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Cheers.
Bye.
Well, gang, that's going to be a wrap of this episode. I'm going to go and buy more books because I just like giving stuff away. So Thursday, 3 p.m., call me with your questions. We're going to give away more books. Please share the show, Tell your friends. Why? Because I want to change the world. See ya.